What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to talk about the Black Starter Deck. You see, I've already shown you a bunch of cards from the Black Starter Deck, but it seems like all of the cards not currently revealed have gone and been revealed. We've already looked at the level 6s, we've looked at a few cards here and there, but there are a bunch we haven't looked at. So what we're going to do is take a whistle-stop tour through the rest of the Black Deck cards, and I will link the ones I've already looked at in the description. So let's start off taking a look at Agamon. I adore Agamon. Free cost to play normally, 0 cost to evolve, 1000 power, and it has blocker. And this is beautiful. I love this. The fact of the matter is, blockers, you just direct an attack towards it. And yeah, fine, there are going to be plenty of times when what you really want to do is try and take out the attacker. Well, this isn't going to do that. Unless you've got a 1000 power Digimon attacking, this is not going to take out the attacker. What it is actually going to do is stop an attack and get deleted. But you know what? That's fine. This is a Digimon that is there to stop an attack, but it's got a decent play cost of 3, it's what you expect, it's free to evolve, and the 1000 power doesn't matter, because really, if you were a 2 or 3000 power Digimon, you'd probably just be getting deleted when you blocked anyway. It actually reminds me very much of Mon, which up till now was the cheapest of the blockers we'd seen, except I love this way more than Mon, because it's 1 cheaper to play, and it's free to evolve, and Mon isn't. So yeah, this is absolutely brilliant. I'm a huge fan of this Agamon. We've also got a level 3 toy Agamon. Free cost to play normally, 0 cost to evolve, 2000 power, so standard costs and kinda weak. But it does have an evolution skill here, an inheritable skill. At the end of your opponent's turn, if your opponent's Digimon did not attack at all during this turn, you draw 1. And I love this skill, but it's such a weird one. Now, early in the game, you might be able to catch your opponent where they're not allowed to attack much, etc. Otherwise, there will be weird points during the game where your opponent doesn't want to attack for various reasons. I do feel like a lot of the time your opponent will be able to get 1 attack off, and then this isn't going to work. But when it does work, you're drawing cards. Drawing cards is always good. I am incredibly apprehensive about how good this might well actually end up being. But you know what? It still looks kind of cool. And actually, we do need to pause for a second and give a massive shout out to the lovely folks over at DigimonCard.dev. A lot of these are cards which have actually gone and been revealed in magazines, and they're awkward. And DigimonCard.dev have done what DigimonCard.dev does, in that they've cleaned them up, straightened them up, added translations. That is awesome. We've got one more level 3 to have a look at. It is Commandramon. 4 cost to play normally, 0 cost to evolve, 5000 power. Well, the 4 cost to play normally is expensive for a level 3, and I'm not particularly condoning it, but it's free to evolve and it's got 5000 power. And that's why you're playing it. There is no real reason you should be paying 4 to play this normally. Paying 4 will get you a level 4, which lets you evolve up into your big boys faster, so no. Don't pay 4 to play it normally. But if you can evolve for free and then you've got a 5000 power Digimon, that's cool. The reality is, a lot of the time you're just going to be evolving up through your level 3s to get to bigger, badder Digimon. And honestly, a lot of the time I'd rather have something like Toy Agamon, even if it's an inheritable skill that's unlikely to fire. Because by the same token, if I can't evolve a Digi-Egg in the breeding area, I can still play it for free rather than 4. It will take out most of your level 3s and 4s on your opponent's side, or at least most of the level 3s. So maybe you can take out a bunch of their really small resting Digimon, but I do worry it's just a little bit weak. Now, there is a Greymon coming here. It's a level 4, 4 cost to play normally, 2 cost to evolve, 4000 power, all fairly standard for a level 4. But at the end of your opponent's turn, if your opponent's Digimon did not attack at all during this turn, draw 1. Yeah, it's the exact same skill as we saw on Toy Agamon, but crucially, it is on a level 4. So the deal here is extremely simple. what you do, and I think if you're committing to this, you want to commit to it. You evolve Toy Agamon into Greymon, evolve that into some random level 5, and then if your opponent doesn't attack at all, you draw 2 cards coming into your turn. Giving yourself a 2 card, and that's bearing in mind you've only got 1. If you've got multiples, you could potentially, and it's a lot to ask, it's almost never going to work, but you've potentially got 8 extra cards that you're drawing. 8! 8! I mean, the chance of you actually drawing 8 with this are basically 0, but ignore that. 8! I like this. When this works, it is going to be a thing of absolute beauty. Again, I am still apprehensive as to how often it's going to work, but it's got such a cool effect when it does that I think it might be worth having a look at. Jazzadmon here is another vanilla Digimon that we see, and honestly, this is another one I'm just not terribly in favour. It doesn't offend me, it is fine. 2 cost to play normally is not cheap for a level 4. We saw it on Greymon. 5 cost to play normally is expensive for a level 4. We can do better. So the only thing you're really hanging your hat on here is 6,000 power. And that's all right. 6,000 power on a level 4 is high. That is going to give you a beefy level 4. It is going to give you a level 4 that is very good at taking out your opponent's level 4s and their level 3s. And that is awesome, and I love it. But again, things like this, maybe it's just my playstyle. Most of the time, I would rather evolve up through this and get to a better Digimon, or play something like Greymon that could give me an advantage. In fact, if you want an example of a level 4 Digimon that really is worth playing for a bit of bulk, in comes Dark Tyranimon. Now, Dark Tyranimon is a very standard blocker-ish. You see, it is a blocker like we saw in all of the starter decks, and we've got the same skill here that when you attack, you lose 2 memory, which is not ideal. But it's 6 cost to play normally, which is 1 more than the level 4s we saw in the first starter decks. It's got 5,000 power, which is 1,000 less than the level 4s we saw in those first lot of starter decks. But it is a 1 cost to evolve. And that is everything here. Your level 4s, you are expecting to pay 2 to evolve them. If you can evolve up here and get your blocker on the board for 1 memory, that is phenomenal. Take something like a Toy Agamon, evolve normally for 0, evolve into Dark Tyranimon, you have paid 1 memory to get Dark Tyranimon on the board. You go first, you start with 0 memory, flip a Digi-Egg, evolve into Toy Agamon, evolve into Dark Tyranimon. It goes to your opponent's turn. Your opponent starts the turn with a single memory, but at the beginning of your next turn, you're going to bring out a 5,000 power blocker from your raising area. I like this way more than I like the blockers from the original starter decks. Yes, I know it's more expensive to play normally. Yes, I know it's got a bit less power. No, I do not care. Even a little tiny bit, because the fact of the matter is I am just going to be trying to evolve this normally, and when I evolve it normally, we're cool, and it doesn't matter how much it costs. And again, with blockers, it's nice to be able to have a really powerful blocker and to destroy or delete an attacking Digimon. That's awesome. But the fact of the matter is, most of the time, when you're blocking, what you really want to do is block an attack. Your number 1 goal, your main mission, is to block an attack. This will do that nicely, and I love it. Yeah, you lose 2 memory when you attack, so you know what? Don't attack. There we go. Job done. Now, there is a level 5 we need to look at here. It is Metal Greymon. Yeah, we're going through the whole Greymon line here in this black starter deck. And what we've got is a 6 cost to play normally, 3 cost to evolve, 7,000 power, which for a level 5 is fine. It's about what we expect. But when you Digivolve, one of your Digimon gains blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. Now, do remember that Digivolve skills and play skills are different. This will not work if you pay the 6 cost to play normally, only if you pay the 3 cost to evolve. but you get to give one of your Digimon blocker. Now, this could be a weak Digimon that you don't mind losing, but you do want to be able to block with. Or this could be a big bad Digimon that you know can take a hit. I've said a couple of times already this video that if your Digimon can delete an attacker, that's awesome. So take your most powerful, your biggest, baddest Digimon on the field, give it blocker, and then say to your opponent, look, you can go and attack this, and that's cool. Have fun with that. But when you attack, you are going to be blocked and you are going to get deleted because I've got a really powerful blocker on the board. And then it really is in your opponent's court, and I love that. I think it is absolutely brilliant. Now, it is worth pointing out that you can do this. We do have option cards that can give you blocker, which is kind of cool. Brave Shield, lovely option card that makes one of your Digimon active and gives them blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. But also, don't sleep on Atomic Ray, a free cost option card that makes one of your Digimon with blocker active. So what you can do here is give one of your Digimon blocker, then play this card to make it active, and you've still got blocker, incidentally. I love it. This one could be cool. It's an evolution skill, it's a one-shot deal, but I'm still a fan. We've then got a level 5 Metal Tyranimon here, and you've probably already noticed that it's got 9,000 power. And that's the hook, incidentally. It is as simple as that. You've got 9,000 power as a level 5, which is about as high as level 5s get. We've seen a tiny bit more here and there, but this is generally about as high as you get. The 6 cost to play normally is not expensive. The 3 cost to evolve is not expensive. They're not particularly cheap, but they're not particularly expensive, but you've got 9,000 power. And 9,000 power is about the stage where you can really start sitting there and going, actually, no, this is worth attacking with. I have finally got a Digimon that is actually worth sitting there and smashing with, so this is cool. I like this. If you want other stuff going on, maybe you don't play this. Maybe you try and work on having some skills or something along those lines. But the fact of the matter is, there is so much to love about having a 9,000 power Digimon on the board. As a level 5, yeah, count me in, ladies and gentlemen. Count me all the way in. The other level 5 we can take a quick look at here is Megadramon. And we've got a 7 cost to play normally, 3 cost to evolve, 7,000 power. So the 3 cost to evolve is standard, but the 7 cost to play normally is expensive. 7,000 power is fine, but not spectacular. But it's got blocker as an inheritable skill, and I love this. I mean, blocker is great, and by now, if you didn't know this going into the video, I'm assuming you've figured out blocker is what black decks do. Black decks take advantage of blocker way better than any other color. They are phenomenal at the whole blocking thing. But being able to give any of your Digimon blocker as an inheritable skill really is awesome. Because generally speaking, if you can give your 11, 12,000 power level 6's blocker, then your opponent's going to attack, you're going to block them with a Digimon that is going to delete them. So not only do you stop their attack, you also get rid of your Digimon while preserving your blocker to use it again on a future turn. I think this is the kind of inheritable skill that could break some decks wide open, and I love it. And then finally, we got an option card we hadn't previously looked at, the lovely named Genocide Attack. Or at least, that's how it's translated on digimoncard.dev. It is a 5 cost option card that reads, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less. And as a security effect, it just does that. Most of the time, there are exceptions. Most of the time, this means any level 5 or below. Certainly, you've seen that the Digimon in this particular deck, the level 5s and below, have 7 or less cost. But it's not guaranteed. Most of the time, this will get anything but a level 6 or 7. So basically, what we do is we put it side by side with Gaia Force, and we go, well, you know what, that's all right. Gaia Force, you're paying 8 cost, but you're getting rid of anything. Here you're paying 5 cost, but you're not getting rid of a level 6 or 7. Most of the time, not all the time, most of the time this is going to be a fair trade and we're going to be cool with it. There are going to be times you curse that restriction, and you're going to wish that it was just Gaia Force. Nothing we can do about that. But a lot of the time, this is going to be good enough. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all the other cards from the Black Starter deck. I believe that now means we have looked at all of them. Obviously, if it turns out we've missed any, I will bring you a video as soon as they are revealed. I love these decks. They seem really, really good. And we will have a video at some point where we do sit down and look at the starter deck as a whole and all of that. Today, we needed to fill the gaps in the Digimon we hadn't yet talked about. And I think we've done that rather nicely. But now I'd like to hear from you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to know which of these cards you're excited about, which of these you think look good, and which of these you're not going to touch with a barge pole. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching Wossy Plays.